Hello everybody and welcome to the Radiator Arms, now presented in extra clarity thanks to new 21st century AI-powered Dolby C noise reduction. To my left we have the wonderful Ant.
Hello, and I am not AI generated, and neither is Mr. Will the Plank, over here, the man in the cans.
Hello, hello. I've thought about being AI generated though, but it seemed like a lot of hassle.
And the filling in this joyous, not AI generated sandwich is me, James, from JayEmm on Cars. And in today's special episode of the Radiator Arms podcast, we're talking present ideas. The good, the bad, the ugly, the reasonably priced, and those we wish we could forget. All, of course, with an automotive theme. So, let's roll the tune. So, gentlemen, are we feeling festive yet? Obviously, we're recording this a little bit in advance, but are you starting to get into the spirit of the season?
Yes, as you can see, I'm dressed all in black, so I'm very festive.
Ready to bury 2025.
Oh, you can say that again.
It's been a big year, I think, for more or less all of us.
Yeah, I think it's been a good year.
It's been a good year, actually.
I've very, very much enjoyed this. I'm greatly looking forward to Radiator Arms Season 2, whatever that is and whenever that is. Gentlemen, quick question to warm us up a little bit. What is your one Christmas film you cannot miss?
Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard. Die Hard's a pretty good solid shout, Ant.
Sorry, I'm a diehard guy as well.
Oh, okay, I'll give you some more. So there are a Muppets Christmas Carol,
Yeah.
which is a favourite of mine, and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation as well.
Oh, yeah, I do quite enjoy that.
It's my wife's favourite Christmas film, so we watch it every year. The extended cut where the shitters are full and everything.
Oh yeah, we also got to add to this, of course, the classic brace of British television. So the Vicar of Dibley Christmas special.
Yep.
Classic. I quite like the Vicious Christmas special as well. Lesser known comedy, but is amazing. And what did I watch the other day? The Miranda Christmas special as well. Just random, because I wanted a bit of half on. I'm not really paying too much attention to this, and it's good fun, you know.
Do you want to know the Christmas special I saw once and vowed never to watch ever again because it gave me nightmares?
Not the Star Wars holiday special, is it?
It was. You guessed it.
Proof in 1978 that maybe George Lucas wasn't a guaranteed hitmaker time after time. Now, I also love to see Die Hard. In fact, I'm going to go and see it at my favourite cinema, the Prince Charles, this winter. We'll also be doing the Muppet Christmas Carol sing-along as well. One year, maybe I'll make it a Radiator Arms social club event, but this year, no, I'm being Billy, not no mates, but some mates.
Yeah.
However, the one year I didn't get to see Die Hard, I made up for it by just going to Nakatomi Plaza.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I was like, do you know what? I haven't got the time to see Die Hard, but I know for a fact it's over there somewhere, and I got really lucky because it is effectively just a business building. And I found the address, got it, drove up to it, and this was, by the way, literally a few days before Christmas as well. And there was nobody there. There was no security or anything. So I got to drive around the roundabout that's at the start of the film and
cool.
stopped and got out and didn't get shot or anything.
And nobody fell on you from a window or anything?
No,
like that?
nothing. And I've known a few people who've gone there and they've been shooed away very, very quickly by security. So obviously he must have been on his comfort break because I got there and it's like, yeah, this is giddy as a school child.
I want to drop a little bomb on you. I actually prefer Die Hard 2.
Ooh, hot take.
Yeah, that is a hot take, but I think it's just the whole airport thing is just so much cooler. And that feels more Christmassy, even though there are planes crashing into the ground. But it just feels more Christmassy.
I thought Die Hard 2 was actually very, very good. It was one of those sequels that I was expecting the worst, but actually was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, and I also really enjoyed Die Hard 3. I thought that was a great film.
Actually, I've known quite a few people where 3 is their favourite.
Yeah, that is a brilliant film. Actually,
Which was the third one?
With a Vengeance, with Samuel L.
Samuel L. Jackson, yes.
Yeah, and the bombs and the stuff and all the things and the crazy guy and, making...
Jeremy Irons.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Anyway, so let's get on to the topic at hand. And to warm you up, gentlemen, I've got you each a little present.
Oh, thank you.
That's very sweet.
There you go. That's
Thank
for you.
you.
Now, remember, this is a audio-first medium, so you're going to have to describe what you've got. And what have you got in your hand?
Well, I have to say the old theme is continuing because this is like an Aldi-esque style wrapping paper, but instead of Aldi, it says Oldie.
I've also had to modify it because when I bought it, I didn't realise it was the wrong greeting on there.
Oh, happy birthday, Jesus. All right, so let's open this and see what's going on.
You may as well open it simultaneously.
Okay.
Jeff,
Yeah.
you've basically
All
got the
right.
same thing.
I haven't got you guys anything.
Yeah, I haven't done
Just your
Christmas-
company is enough, dude.
I haven't done Christmas shopping just yet.
I tell you what, you know, for a long time since my son grew up, like neither of us have really been that like bothered by Christmas.
I'll be honest, I didn't actually buy you guys these either. But a sponsor got in touch, and I thought, yeah, it has to be done.
So what I'm looking at right now is a Scale Electrics car, and it's a Volvo 850. It's one of their like touring. Is this
Yeah,
touring
the famous
car
touring car. Yeah,
Oh,
the estate.
wow, that's so cool. It's the 850 estate, and I love an estate.
Yeah.
For the camera here.
Oh, yes. It's very, very nice. It's the Rickard Rydell one.
I assume somewhere there is a track to go with this.
Yes, there is indeed. So at home, we have a new Scale Electric set. Ant, what have you got?
Oh, look at that.
I've got a Fast and Furious RX-7. I can't remember whose car this was though.
Yeah, because that's not the one people would
Dom's.
think of.
No,
Yeah,
this is
it's
Dom's car.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the red RX-7, not with the Fortune body kit, but with some other stuff on
Yeah.
it. Oh yeah, look, it's got the Dominic Toretto. So I can't remember what film he had this in. Was it the first one?
I don't know. Honestly,
I can't remember either.
yeah, pass. So at home, we have, courtesy of the lovely people at Scale Electric, we've got a full-size Fast and Furious Scale Electric set with extra Fast and Furious cars in it as well.
Okay, all roads lead to JayEmm's.
Exactly. We'll be playing with that at some point, and I'll bring the
moving in.
Volvo for
Yeah.
just continuity's sake, or lack of continuity's sake.
Yeah. That, basically, they chucked in some extras. I've got an E30, the Jägermeister touring
Ooh.
car. So that they sort of make a bit of a pair. The Anton was a bit of a bonus, but I think we've also got Dom's Charger and something
brilliant.
else in there as well. They basically, it seems to be a tradition now. They contact me every Christmas and just go, "Would you like a Scale Electric set?" Like, yes, of course I would. So they said, "Yeah, we'll send it to you. Just mention it, will you?" Like, yeah, that's fine. Do you know what? The inner child of me is like, yes, very happy.
That's very, very
That
cool.
is so awesome. And to tell you what, this is amazingly detailed as well, actually.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of the things where they've really, even the light clusters in the back look reflective. Like, look
Yeah,
at
no,
it,
you
like-
could just have that as like a model on display. It's actually pretty
Well,
nice.
that's exactly what I was thinking. That is really quite cool.
I've actually got a few Scale Electrics cars at home that are sitting on display. Like I've got like a ramp section
Oh, yeah.
of the Scale Electric track that I've got them mounted on so that they're just kind of sitting on a road.
Here's the thing. I was thinking earlier.
Before you do, I want to give a quick shout out to a US colleague and buddy, Elliot Alvis, because he restored a Volvo. I think it was that edition, or maybe an older one. But he found it in this kind of junkyard. It was an absolute mess, and he got that thing back on the road. It was the thing that's got me started watching his channel. He's American based. He hangs out with a lot of the Hoovy and.
I thought so. That name seemed familiar, and you know, you got the Car Wizard as well, probably, and stuff like that.
Yeah. And so we got talking for. Do you know what? I don't even know how it happens. Like, but with YouTubers, you just end up chatting with each other, don't you?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's true.
And we got chatting. He's a lovely guy, really, really nice. And just shout out to him because he did do a lot of work on our old Volvo estate that I think, if you go back in his archive, is worth watching.
I will check that out.
Absolutely. I looked at a video a while back on the making of those cars, and I think to try and keep them vaguely competitive, the engine work they were doing to them was absolutely obscene. I think they were building them sort of not quite, but near Formula One levels of engineering. Like there wasn't really much left there, and that's why they stopped doing it, because the amount of money being thrown into it is incredible. I think
The rumour was that they went to go and get the shell for a saloon car, and they didn't have any, so they had to settle for an estate. I'm not sure how true that is. I think it was more to do with making an impact. And
Yeah, I've heard various rumors, one of which was, that they thought that it was going to be a stiffer chassis somehow. And another was that they knew they weren't going to win the first year out. So they thought, well, if we have a really distinctive car, people will remember it and it'll get lots of screen time, because that's what the sponsors actually care about. They don't really care whether you win or lose. They want their logo on the telly for as long as possible. And the Volvo, I think, did that job.
well, that's how it used to work. Now it works slightly differently. Now they want as many trackable clicks as possible.
Yeah.
But that's another conversation for another day.
Yeah. So, gents, what have we found?
Well, before we do, I got a gift and I brought it with me.
Oh.
Just to show you. It was something that I received from a sponsor on Sports and Touring. This is the Antigravity 360-degree drone. It's the Antigravity A1. Help me pull that out of the box, please. There we go. And it smells really nice. Smell it.
Oh, yes. It smells of vinyl.
Yeah, it's just got that new
New drone smell.
drone smell. And I'll just show you the basic thing really quickly, because I was actually,
I guess this is in a pretty small bag for those that are listening. It's kind of like 2 times kids' lunchbox size, would you say?
Yeah, around that kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is what I like to call the size of my wife's lunchbox. It's an adult lunchbox size.
Yeah.
grown-ups lunchbox.
Yes.
There we go. I can't believe we're talking about my lunchbox. Anyway,
Thought we got away with that.
no, I'm not going to let you get away with that. Yeah, so look at, hang on, let me take it out of the bag. It is
Now, this
tiny.
is one of
Fits
these
in the palm of your hand.
250 gram.
Yeah, 249 gram drone, yeah.
249 gram drone. Although once you put your operator ID on it, I don't know if that is 1 more gram or not, but
Technicalities. It depends how much a piece of stuck on paper weighs.
yes. What's cool about it is, unlike a drone where it has a camera that's on a gimbal and you have to kind of move it around, with this, you put on a headset and you can look around in any direction while you're flying it. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be doing an integration on this in a video over on Sports and Touring.
So this has got all the stuff, I assume, which stops you from accidentally smashing into things. Like I did that one time. I reviewed a drone and nearly smashed it into the Gulf.
Yes, it is all anti-collision, obstacle avoidance, all of that, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention it.
And how much are these things going to be?
This is the thing. This is brand new. They haven't even been released yet. So I've actually got one of the first retail units in the world. Ooh. And so anyway, watch out for it. But if you are interested in this and you've already done your research and you fancy one, we'll leave my affiliate link in the description below. So you can support the channel by ordering it through that. And usually they'll offer you some sort of like free gift.
And also a cool Christmas present for car people, because they can make fancy car shots with it. There you go.
That's why they sent it to me, because Antigravity is a company that's been incubated by Insta360, and I've been using Insta360 cameras for quite a while. And apparently I'm credited with doing many firsts, or at least being the first to show people how to do some of the coolest shots. So they said, hey, look, we've been loving your stuff. Not bothered about the size of your channel. We just want to see how creative you can get with it. So
That's
there you
cool.
go.
I will get creative with it.
Oh, well, that's some fun with that. I suppose as well, like drones now, because you can get ones, I think that will be a bit cheaper than that. I guess maybe it's the 21st century equivalent of buying a model rocket or a RC plane or something like that.
Oh, yeah, probably. Like, I've got quite a cheap drone and I have quite a lot of fun with that. So,
Yeah.
an interesting one like that'll be even more fun.
What is a cheap drone these days? How much are they?
About 240 quid for one which is actually any good, from a competitor's company.
Wow.
Which is...
That's not so bad when you think about what actually goes, considering that, 10, 15 years ago, this sort of stuff was...
And it
virtually
didn't even have any remote stuff, any cameras, anything like that. Literally, some of the early drones are like, you could mount a camera to it, but if you lost track of it, there's no way it would get home and you and your camera just go missing.
Yeah. So if you have a bigger budget, a cool gift for a car person might be stuff that they can make cool content with their car, just for their social medias and their memories. And that could be one of those options.
I saw also DJI have just released the new version of their Osmo action camera. So again, anybody out there that likes making videos or wants to help encourage a content creator or future content creator in the family, the Osmo Action is really. Is it called the Osmo Action? I think it's just called the Action 6 is the current version. It's just come out. Really nice, easy to use camera because it's got screens on front and back, does basically everything that you'd want. It's a really good alternative to a GoPro. And the best thing about it is that the battery lasts ages. That's why I've got one, because my other cameras, the batteries last 45 minutes to an hour. This one's like 3 hours.
Yeah, you lent me one of your DJI, like kind of GoPro-y style cameras.
Yeah, that's the previous one, the actual
Yeah. When I was doing some videos earlier this year, it's great. Like as an amateur camera person, that was really easy to set up, and the results out of it pretty good.
Yeah, it's not so bad. It's got its limitations. There's a few irks, but it's the same with every camera out there. No matter what the price, there's always a problem with it. But for what it is, yeah, really, really good. And I like sort of, encouraging people to do that sort of thing, make a bit of content. And I've known a lot of people as well who are maybe planning a road trip or something like that, and they want to just record what they're doing, just stick a camera in the windscreen and tell everybody at home what they're going to do. Personally, I think it's the equivalent of a wedding video that anybody who wasn't there doesn't care. But if you want to try and do it, then go for it. I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah, it's amazing how accessible like good cameras at budget prices are these days.
Oh, honestly, some of this technology has moved on so far in such a short space of time that the kit that I use to film just regular car reviews and whatnot as one person, that level of quality just didn't exist, say, 15 years ago. To get some of those little compact cameras with the level of picture quality that they have, it just wasn't a thing. You go back and watch earlier seasons of the 2004 Top Gear or whatever it was. And you'll see, of course, they're all in standard definition for a long time, but it's not just that. The quality of the camera, everything about the camera is really poor.
The interior cameras on those, my goodness, they were awful. In fact, it's funny, actually, I thought on the theme of Christmas gifts, in about 2007, I got gifted a Sony standard definition kind of like hard drive camera, one of the early ones.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first cameras I remember in the digital era, and thinking after like DV tapes and Hi8 and stuff like that, I was thinking, wow, this is making a big difference. But you look at it now and you're like, bloody hell. That just wouldn't fly on any video.
No.
And you know what? So this is actually a really good topic, I think, because we should be thinking not just about the adult car people, but the younger car people. And there's a lot of young teenage car spotters out there who are, trying to break through on the Instagrams and the TikToks, making really just shots of cars going up and down the road. A lot of them start with their phones and then they kind of move on to some other cameras. So looking into what cameras would be good for car spotters if you have a teenage who is interested in currently spotting cars.
Do you know what the best camera is to buy a young, not even photography enthusiast, but potential photography enthusiast? Polaroid. They're actually having a bit of a renaissance. They're kind of coming back. And I think Polaroid cameras are great because the camera itself is so easy to use. You get your hard copy of the picture instantly. Do not sit there flipping it around. By the way, that's not how you're supposed to let the thing set. But it's also really good for teaching people in the digital age a little bit of care and consideration, because they're used to having, 100,000 shots available on their phone or something daft, and they'll just go, bang, 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 bang with the shutter. Whereas with a Polaroid, you get, I think, was it 10 shots in a pack or so, and they're not cheap. So if you know that you click that button, that's going to be £1. Like you don't want to sit and think about what the shot is you're going to take. And also, I really quite like the fact that, you've got the photo and it's that piece of, paper or film, whatever you want to call it. And that's the only copy.
Who's it on social media that's been doing that? They've been taking Polaroids, but also doing digital photos, and they'll leave like a little Polaroid and a little USB.
there is
I
a
think
car
there's,
spotter, isn't
there's
there, that
also
does
a
that?
few people doing that kind of thing. But yeah, I think there is a car spotter as well.
Yeah.
But I want to make you laugh. I never had too much experience with Polaroid as a kid, and I'll tell you why. Because my dad had a Sony Mavic floppy disk digital camera from pretty much early as I can remember.
Wow, he's not still got it, has he?
I don't think he's still got it, but he always was really early on the digital camera train. So I actually spent a lot of time with digital camera. But then you did have to think, because there's only a 1.44 megabyte flop in it, could only hold so much.
I bought a floppy disk reader recently.
Oh, I've got about 20 of them.
Yeah, it's the most hilarious thing, floppy disk to USB 3. Like, that's really unnecessary.
Did it increase the read times?
No, not at all. Luckily, all the files are about 10 kilobyte. But I basically found a whole bunch while I was going through my nan's house. I found a whole bunch of stuff that my granddad had just committed to floppy disk. Most of it is just garbage files.
Oh wow, so that's like 90s. That stuff is
yeah. Because he died
now.
in 99. So this is genuinely. But I tell you what, they're all readable.
Yeah.
They're readable. The only ones that I can't read are because the file format is for a program that hasn't existed for 20 plus years on a computer that hasn't existed for 20 plus years. But yeah, all the Word documents and things that he wrote, and there's some nice stuff that he put in there that I wanted to read like as an adult. And yeah, so they still work, which I couldn't believe because they've not been kept in, ideal temperature controlled storage. They were just in a cupboard in a
You
house.
just got very lucky with that because that usually doesn't happen.
Yeah. It should have happened. I think because we did break open his computer a few years back and that was dead. Although you're going to revive one of my old computers, aren't you?
I am. We've been talking about it for a year. We might do it into a 3 years time. Yes, right?
Yeah, that's the speed at which men work.
That is the speed. It's on the plan. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So, gents, suggestions.
I have some suggestions. In fact, if I can go first,
You may.
I have one of my favourite suggestions, which is a little toolkit. A portable toolkit of some sort, I think, is one of the best Christmas gifts you can give, especially a cheap one. Now, none of these things I'm looking up or showing today are sponsored by anybody. I want to put that clear here. This is a toolkit I own myself, and it is one I got from Amazon in December of 2022, a Von Hoss 104-piece socket set. Now, you should recognise this because I bring this little socket set everywhere, and it was £40. And I tell you what, that socket set has revived the Maestro that was sat for 20 years. That socket set has pretty much entirely taken apart a Maestro for scrap, my previous one to that. It has done a majority of the work on the Minis. It has done a majority of the work on my Golf that I had. It's done a lot of work on the Mercedes, and it's even done a little bit of stuff on the Metro as well, and other cars in the family, friends, things like that. 90 to 95% of the tools I actually needed to get a job done were in this kit. And for £40, it's amazing. I've beaten the absolute pants off that and used like the actual like ratchet as a hammer on occasions, and it's still going. And I've even used what done what I shouldn't do, which is actually use them as like air tools as well. And none of the sockets have exploded. So I have to say, a little socket set is always a great present, and they're cheap enough where you can almost keep them in every car. Like to the point, like maybe not you because you've got so many, but you can almost keep them in every car because like. If you have a breakdown, it's got everything that you really need.
If I had like 14 different socket sets, I would still not have a 10 mil.
You probably wouldn't.
Now I'd be like, great, I've found something, but which socket set is it from?
Yes, exactly.
I've got one, and I can only just about be trusted with that. But that's actually a cracking idea. Nice tool set. Low price, but actually it works. It's reasonably durable.
And you can do a majority of jobs, especially roadside repairs with it as well.
Yeah, and for anybody that's thinking of doing something more professionally, I believe the Halfords Professional, do they call it?
Yes,
Halfords Advanced.
Halfords Advanced.
Halfords Advanced, that's what we've got.
They do lifetime replacements, don't they? If you break it, they'll replace
lifetime warranty.
Weren't they made by Snap-on at one point? Or are they? They're actually like a subsidiary or something? I could be totally wrong, but I swear there was a rather big company behind it. It wasn't just like cheap-made stuff.
I don't know on that one. I do believe Snap-on have the same policy where you break it, they replace it. Obviously, Snap-on stuff is, I think, considerably more expensive. However, a while back, my neighbour worked for, I think he might still, Caterpillar.
Okay.
And Caterpillar have their own branded tools, but they're actually Snap-on. So because Caterpillar is such a large company, obviously they can do that. And effectively it's Snap-on tools, but at a slightly better price. So yeah, there you go. Top tip toolkit. Good shout, Will. And what have you got?
Well, let's keep it in the sort of cheaper car category. I think model cars. I found one. It was a Corgi Aston Martin V8 Vantage diecast for £39, which I think is a reasonable price.
Yeah,
for a high quality model car. And if you can find the car that is either that individual's actual car, ideally in the same color, or a car that they aspire to have one day, so they can put it on the shelf and use it as like, a manifestation tool to visualize the ownership of that vehicle one day, and do all of that university thing that people talk about. That is one option. Now, of course, you could then get into the big boy models where they start costing hundreds of pounds, but something like that is pretty cool. I love the Scale Electric car as an option if they've got a Scale Electric set, but just a model car in a nice little plastic case, for me, is like one of the nicest things you can get for a car person.
Yeah. Also, for the younger individual, Scale Electric I think they've recently rebranded it. They call it like Let's Play. It's basically like my first Scale Electric. So it's smaller track. I think it might be smaller scale, and they got different cars. They're not quite as like intricate because they're obviously designed for kids that are probably going to wreck it at some point. But I think it's about £40 for like a Scale Electric set, which is really quite good.
Yeah.
So that's good fun. I think also like anything you can buy people that gets them into cars is always a good thing. Like,
I've got an idea actually. Now, something for the younger person. Yeah, to get them into cars. So when Damani was, he was 15 years old, and he had been selected for the Ginetta Scholarship.
Yeah.
As in to compete for the Ginetta Scholarship. And one of the concerns we had was he's driven go-karts, but he's never driven a car before. And he's never had to change gear before. Now, they were going to be sequential Ginetta G40Js, which were just like a detuned road tyre, but with a sequential box race cars. But nonetheless, I thought it's probably a good idea because he will have to use the clutch to pull away.
Yeah.
So I found one of these young person driving experience days at Silverstone. It was the Mercedes one at the time. And they had this really, really good little course that you could sort of just do like some basic driving. I think it started at age 14, but it was all dependent on your height.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like that, an experience like that, they're not that expensive. I don't remember how much they are now, but they're not that expensive.
No, I think it's like between £100 and £200. I want to say
even less, if I remember correctly.
You might be right. Because I did one. That was the first time I drove a car properly, was on the GP loop of Brands Hatch. With their MSV, they have one, they call it Young Drive, and I'm pretty certain they still do it because I think it's quite a good gift. I think the only thing with it is I was glad I did it when I think I was 15 or 16, because I then didn't have to wait too long before I could actually drive a car. Because if you did it when you're 13, you get that little taste and you go, oh, great, I've got to wait ages for this now.
But no, it was a great experience. And the Silverstone one, I don't know if it's still running because this was like 11 years ago now. But the section of Silverstone that you get to also drive on to get to go through the gears was the old circuit that goes under the bridge.
Oh,
so
nice.
you get to drive on a piece of tarmac that, hosted Formula One races like back in the 50s and the 60s. It's just very, very cool.
That is awesome.
Have you got some suggestions, dear?
I do. Do you know what? I was actually thinking of one that I hadn't written down because I've been looking up here at the box you've got for your old Microsoft Sidewinder precision steering wheel, which is probably almost an antique these days.
It is. It used to be part of the set at one point as well.
Yeah. But one of those, for anybody that's already playing video games, there are a whole bunch of wheels out. And the great thing with this gift is that you can spend anything from basically 20 quid on eBay up to about 5 to 10 grand, depending on how far you want to go. You can buy anything from like just a little wheel that you just basically clamp to a desk to a full-on sim rig. But whatever you get, it will almost certainly be a bit of an upgrade over just using the controller.
Oh, yeah, much better to use a steering wheel than a controller
100%.
in any racing game.
I want to get one of those at one point because actually I play a lot of a game called BeamNG Drive. I don't know if you've ever played that. And actually it's a great crash simulator, but more than that, it's actually really good for like simulating cars and physics and racing. And I want to get one with like, the full manual pedal setup and the gear shift and things and force feedback. So I think Logitech do some good ones, aren't they? One of the ones which for the budget.
So many. Yeah, Logitech are great. I've had a number of Logitech wheels over the years. They were fantastic. I had actually started building a sim rig setup a few years ago, then I had to sell it because I just didn't have the money at the time. I want to try and build another one. I'm talking to a chap at the minute about it. I might even go and do a video with him talking about like how to build a sim rig, the considerations and things, because his background is particularly interesting. He makes his own, sim rig, but he's ex-Formula One. And he was telling me how the stuff that basically any of us can buy now just wasn't available to even Formula One teams 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
The technologies come on so fast and then manage to trickle down. A lot like the drones, the stuff that was just, military only 10, 15 years ago is now, Argos have got it.
Well, what's interesting, I actually know somebody who is a dedicated sim rig YouTuber, and they're not too far from here as well. A chap called Carl Gosling. Some of you out there might have heard of him. He's a good buddy of mine, and I'll get him in touch with you as well because he's local and he's got loads of toys.
Oh, please do. I keep pestering Jimmy Broadbent to bring his recently acquired 360 to one of our Radiator Arms track club track days, which would also be an amazing Christmas gift idea.
What? I had that on my list. I did, funnily enough. Was going to be some kind of track day and somewhere where you can turn up either with your own car, and something that we'll also be doing is have cars for rent.
Yes, we're still working on that one. I mean, obviously our days are the best.
Of course.
But other track day experiences are available in various different, all over the world. Yeah, no matter where you're listening from, there is a good chance that somewhere there is a track that you can go and drive. I also found out recently that, and this might well be worth us doing on one of our next European jaunts, the Nürburgring is not the only place that does Touristenfahrten or tourist laps. Spa does as well.
Yep.
And I think it's either Zandvoort or Zolder does as well. So it might be a mission because I'm very much opposed to taking any of my own cars around the ring for a great many reasons. Spa, however, I'd be quite comfortable doing. I think that would be quite good fun. I've ridden around Spa once and it is just incredible, and that's an amazing opportunity. And of course, again, if you want a good Christmas gift idea, there is so much great motorsport out there, particularly here in Britain. We are spoiled for choice. You've got basically everything from motocross to rally to truck racing to, of course, we've got Formula One as well. Personally, I actually find Formula One to be one of the less exciting sports, and I think it's probably not exceptional value. Touring cars, I think, as a day of racing, touring cars is kind of hard to beat, and the ticket prices are not high at all. Another thing you can also buy as well, and a lot of circuits do this, again, it's a little bit more expensive, but I did it once, I think, when I was younger, and it was cheaper then. You can buy passes for a circuit. So when I was younger, I had my moped. I was going to Snetterton all the time because it was our local circuit. And I think I asked one year from my parents to have a season ticket. I think back then it was like a couple $100. And you get different ones. You can get one that's like just for one circuit. You get one that gets you access to like all the bike events, or one that gets you access to all the car events. There's one that gets you access, I think, to like multiple circuits. And obviously they all come at different price points, right? But something like that's really good because I find when you have, one of those unlimited access things, you then start to find the excuses to use it. So you'll then go, well, I've got this, so I might as well go and watch that, and I might as well go and watch that, and I might as well go here. And then sometimes you'll find yourself a little race series that you just didn't even think of, but it's great fun. Some of my favorites used to be the classic car racing. Classic minis are just the best because they just go everywhere, at every corner. And also classic Jaguars. Never really thought they'd be great racing, but it turns out they are. Seeing the old XGSs and stuff racing, fantastic.
I want to recommend, if you want to have a great day out at a race circuit with really good racing, on a budget and to get very, very close to the cars themselves, Brit car.
Oh, no, Brit car. That is a good shout. Yeah, that is a very, very good shout.
Fun fact, Damani has actually commentated when he was 15 years old. He actually commentated as a pundit on the Brit car races.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he did Snetterton and Silverstone, and there was actually a feature done on him on Sky while they were doing the coverage of the race, and he was there giving his viewpoint, which was quite funny because in order to know what was going on, we had to spend a day on a simulator, so he actually knew what was going on at the corners, what the issues were at the corners, where the overtaking opportunities might have been. So that he could then sort of like comment on it. And he did so well at Snetterton that they asked him to come back for Silverstone.
Wow.
But yeah, that was good fun. But no, the great thing about them is that you can get very close to the cars. Touring cars, you can kind of get close to the back of the garages, but not particularly. That they tend to be cordoned off. Whereas Brit car tends to be a much more open paddock. You can pretty much look straight into the back of the garages and see the cars. And sometimes the drivers, if they're sort of in between races and stuff, might invite you in and say, I just want to sit in the car, that sort of thing. So you can get really, really close.
That's cool.
At Daytona, when I did the NASCAR, they had this really fun thing where the pits, if you buy like the fan zone ticket or whatever, which isn't actually a hideous price compared to Formula One stuff, you get access to the infield and there's loads of stuff going on. But one of the things you get is there's the pits there, and all of the pits have a glass wall. It's almost like a sort of kiosk type thing. And you can effectively walk up to them, and they've got a little opening so you can just hand something through to get signed by somebody. It's quite cool. And the other thing as well, which I just, having experienced Formula One, albeit a very, very long time ago, because NASCAR I consider to be top level motorsport, right? Like NASCAR to me is like up there. And we were stood on the circuit, half an hour before the race started, and you can sign the track.
Wow.
That's cool.
Literally, they don't care. It's like they encourage it. It's like part of the thing you do. So basically, you find the start line, you find a little empty bit, and you get your Sharpie out and just sign your name on the track. And there's stuff that they do, which is like, yeah, this is quite nice. I feel like they work for the fans a little bit more, whereas Formula One, I think for a long time now, has felt very much like, you over there, us over here, like ne'er the two shall meet. Whereas certainly there, it's a bit more of a mix. And IndyCar had a bit of that as well. Even Le Mans Classic did, actually, because again, Le Mans Classic is like old-fashioned pits, a bit like you get at Goodwood or wherever. Mm-hmm. So you can just walk up to the cars and often speak to the drivers or whatever and get that interaction.
You went up for the Le Mans Classic event and you parked the Merc on the track, didn't you?
Yeah, so what that was is there's a little section of the track which wasn't being used for the race, and effectively it was like camping. It's where people were staying and everything, and so you could just drive down there. So yeah, I think it's technically the Bugatti circuit, and yeah, I parked the Merc there, got a few shots, filmed a little bit of my video there and everything, and yeah, it's quite cool. And of course, we did also get to drive the Mulsanne Straight as well, because before the race, it's just
in the Merc as well.
Yeah. No,
that's awesome. I didn't know that.
No.
You didn't tell me that, I don't
the
think.
Merc has been down the Mulsanne Straight.
That is amazing.
Yeah, we were going to the shops, but you do, because it is just a piece of road, until the race starts. That's it.
Did you feel like you were in like Forza or something?
It was amazing. Honestly, it was absolutely sensational. Obviously, we're looking at going back there in 2027, so not next year, but 2027. We're going to do a big channel adventure type thing, so nearer the time, we'll give people more information about that. We're currently working on exactly what it's going to involve. Obviously, I'd love for both of you guys to be there if it's possible, which obviously this far in advance, we don't know. But yeah, it was awesome. Honestly, I've been putting it off for so long because, it is basically 5 days out of my time in the middle of summer, which is kind of like peak filming period for me. But I got the invite. I had to go. The Classic, I think, actually holds more appeal to me now than it does like the current 24-hour. Because when we talk about Le Mans, we often talk about GT40s, Porsche 917s, the Audi R8s, stuff like that. So to actually get to see those cars going round was magical. I don't know who won any of the races. I got absolutely clueless. I honestly didn't care. It's basically like 3 days of the best parade you've ever seen, because there's these cars going at full tilt and the noises they made. Oh, yes.
And I think that's the thing. Like, there is something about just feeling and hearing the sounds and smelling the smells. And there is something very, very cool about being at these events. And I would like to say one other thing, then we'll probably move on from motorsport. And that is another option to consider is to buy hospitality from one of the teams at the race events. Obviously, the more entry level the race event, the more entry level the prices are. But I have to say, Unlimited Motorsport in the British Touring Car Championships, they provide a really good set of packages. Get in touch with them, drop them an email, ask them what kind of options they have for hospitality next year. And one of the great things is if you get hospitality, you get things like you get to go on actual grid. So we took James out year before last, I think it was.
Yeah.
Down to Snetterton. We got him the pit, not the pit walk. That everyone can do that. The
grid walk.
The grid walk, that's it. The grid walk, where you get to go out on the track and you stand at the side of the track and all of the cars come around and you hear them going rub, 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 with the really, lovely sound coming up to the grid, and they all set up on the grid. You get to kind of walk around, get some photos with the drivers, and then you stand back and get off the grid before they then head out. And a lot of the teams will also offer the option to watch the races from the garages as well. So you'll get like a time slot where you can come into the garage and watch from the garage. So just consider that as well as an option.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say that it's not cheap, but it also might be a lot more reasonable than you think.
Yeah.
Because also once you factor in these things often include the tickets, they include somewhere to sit and watch the race, also a bit of weather cover, which in Britain is always very, very handy, and you tend to get your food and things included as well.
Refreshments all day.
Various different bonuses that quote unquote money can't buy. They'll often put little nice things on. Actually, once you look at what you get, it's not always a lot more expensive than just doing the race yourself.
And this is actually a bit of a top tip, because I don't think the teams are allowed to advertise their hospitality. No. So you can only get it if you just drop them an email. Like, obviously they reserve the majority of their hospitality for sponsors, but if they have spare capacity, sometimes they're allowed to actually share that with the public.
Yeah. At the end of the day, your money is what keeps them racing.
Yes, exactly. So it's just a case of you probably won't see it on their websites. Just drop any of the teams an email and express an interest in hospitality and see what they say.
Sounds like a good idea. I have some more suggestions of Christmas gifts.
Please.
And one I have is a battery boost pack for one of those starters. Now, this is one on Amazon by a brand called Noco. It is a 1,000 amp ultra safe jump start power pack, and right now on deal it is £78.99.
Oh, I've got one of those.
You've actually got one of the same ones?
I've got one of those. Yeah, I think it might be like a model up or down or something, but that's actually really good.
Yeah, they're great ideas to have, because especially when you have a fleet of older cars, you never know what particular thing is going to drain the battery that day, or when you haven't replaced your battery in a while and you realised, it's -2 degrees and your car doesn't start. I could have done one of those a couple of years ago when I had my Mazda 2 and it left me stranded somewhere. And I got a jump start from somebody, fortunately, but I was like... this is really inconvenient.
Those, or worst case, a set of jump leads.
Yeah, a set of jump leads as well. Yeah, they're not a bad thing to have.
Although, generally speaking, using jump leads car to car is not recommended for many cars these days, because you can fry the electronics.
Yeah, probably modern stuff, but who's driving modern cars anyway?
I do.
Well, I mean, we're thinking also here really for the young car enthusiast, because a lot of older gents probably have something a bit like this already. But for a young lad or lass that's just started driving and it is unlikely to be in something brand spanking new, might be something a little bit older that's maybe past its prime, something like that is great to have. Or indeed, even for somebody that's got a decent car, if you're going to go away, modern cars, they're quite tricksy with their battery drain. So if you're going to go off to the airport, you're on holiday for a couple of weeks, especially if it's cold, you might find when you come to get back to your car, or someone's done something silly and left a light on or something like that. There are many scenarios in which you shouldn't really have needed one of those, but the fact you've got it is very helpful. It's also a gigantic battery pack, so you can also use it to just charge your phone and things like that if you're going away. So there's many uses of those, and they've got torches built in as well.
Yes,
so
I don't know if this particular one has. I'll have to have a look. I think this. I know it's got a light built into it. It has got a light. I can't say anything about USB. Oh no, yes, it has. It's got USB out and a 10-watt USB-C. So you were right. It has all the bells and whistles that anybody could need.
The guys at Abbey Motorsport a couple of years ago showed me this really compact unit that does all of that, and it had a water pump in it, so you could attach a hose, and it basically it had like a jet wash attachment, and it was tiny. It was really tiny. I must find out which one it was.
Huh. I did see once one of those little booster packs, and it was basically the size of a phone.
Yeah.
And they were like, this will start effectively anything up to like a, 4-litre engine, give or take. Not anything incredible with silly high compression, but like most cars, this thing will start it, and you're like, this is microscopic.
I think the only thing with a lot of these battery packs that is worth noting is if your battery is like 100% flat, it's going to do nothing because they need some kind of voltage to turn on a lot of the time. But if it's like 9-10 volts, or it's cranking on like it does.
No, those Noco ones will do it.
Will it? Well, actually, from completely flat to nothing.
Yeah, trust me, it will.
Okay, fair enough. I stand corrected.
There's a button on it which is usually a big red exclamation mark, and effectively that's the one you press where you go, no, I have connected it correctly. I know the battery is completely pancaked. Please start. Because I've sometimes found if you've got a trickle charger, if your battery's that dead, the trickle charger just won't recognize it. So you have to get the thing going, and then you can charge it properly. It's not ideal. Do not recommend this. But if you're in a pinch,
I don't recommend it, because that's exactly how I blew up one of my 4-amp little chargers when trying to do a battery for the Metro. And I came in the next day, and a capacitor had exploded inside of the charger. So be very careful when doing that. That's not officially sanctioned advice, but you can do it.
Yeah. So if you do want to buy a battery charger, there's usually a sale on around this time of year. C-Tech is probably the best known brand. And if anybody's ever seen a fancy car like a Ferrari or a McLaren or anything, or a Porsche or whatever, and they've got their own branded charger, it's a C-Tech. It's just a C-Tech. Yeah. I have a whole bunch of them because I have some cars in storage, and they are the only charger that my storage company allows because it's approved by their insurer.
Really?
Because they're properly tested. They're safe. Look, you can get cheaper ones for sure, but the C-Tech do like a range of, I've lost count now, how many different chargers that they have, and they work really well.
Are they weatherproof as well? Can you leave?
Yes.
I tell you, I might have to get one of those to the Merc then.
Yeah. Well, it's what I had connected to the Merc while it was on the driveway.
Okay.
And for mine as well, you can get these little quick release adapters and things where you basically just you screw it into the battery terminals, and it's got a little inline like traffic light display, so it should be red, yellow, green. So if it's on green, it's fully charged and everything. Amber, it's okay, but red basically means you need to charge this. Just connect it up and it'll get going. It's really handy.
C-Tech also do a magnetic connector adapter that you can put into the car. So obviously that attaches to the terminals. Then you can mount the adapter wherever you want, and all you do is just go click and attach.
Oh, so like you can mount it through like a bit of bumper or something like that, and just go in, or through a bit of bodywork somewhere. Is it like a panel mount, or is it just like literally you just have it in the engine bay, go click?
You can get both.
Yeah, it depends on where your battery is. Like, so on my Lamborghini, the battery is in behind the front storage liner
bin,
and on that there's just the magnetic bit is on the lining. So you just open the front storage, attach it magnetically, put the bonnet down. And and it's charging. Some people will attach it underneath the car. Some people are worried that if they forget that it's attached and they drive off, so it's often for those folks, they'll wire it up so it's at the back of the car underneath, so that if they drive off, it just detaches and they drive off and it's not a problem.
Oh, yeah, that is quite handy actually. That.
So it depends on where your battery is, obviously.
Yeah.
Practical stuff. Less practical stuff, and again, sort of great for the enthusiast, young or old. Just about every car company out there has some description of official merchandise. Some of it can be quite expensive. So if you're trying to find merchandise for somebody and the genuine official stuff is quite expensive, a good alternative is not the black market, but instead, most of these car companies, in fact, nearly all of them, I would wager, have owners groups or fan clubs, which will have their own licensed wear that's often a little bit more reasonably priced. Sometimes the opposite is true, but there's so many cool things you can find. And also, race teams will have their own merch. So, and because race teams are changing sponsors and liveries and things all the time, you'll often find that at the end of race season, particularly if they know that come next year, there's going to be a change and all of their wear is now out of date, great time to get stuff. It's also another reason to go to some of these big race events and things, because guaranteed, like at every touring car meet and stuff like that, there'll always be a shop there selling, a market stall effectively selling all sorts of stuff. And last year's clothes or whatever will be, really nice, good quality condition. That maybe last year this was a 150 quid jacket, but now their drivers quit. So it's 50 quid.
Or a sponsorship change or any number of things that that would have changed. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Getting it towards the end of the season or after the season's over, you'll get some really, really good deals direct. And you can usually buy it direct from the team's website as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Never just assume that the team will be the most expensive place, because sometimes they can actually be the cheapest.
Yeah. I mean, some of the merch can be expensive for certain brands, and some of it is quite frankly ridiculous though. So I was at a Lamborghini dealership because I went to test drive another car somewhere else, and it happened to have a Lamborghini dealership next door. So my son and I decided, look, let's just pop in and have a look around, see what they've got. And while we were there, we noticed that they had a white Lamborghini mug and an orange Lamborghini mug, so the matching colours for my car. So I was like, I should just buy those. And I didn't think. I was like, what's that? It's going to be like 25, 30 quid for the two. No, 25, 30 quid for one.
Oh, yeah.
For a mug. And the worst part of it was, the Lamborghini logo is just like printed onto it. It's not like embossed or anything like that.
That's stingy.
And it's so cheap. It's only embossed on one side, not both.
What? Is the mug itself at least all right?
It's just a
I think
a mug.
if you buy
cheap.
one of those, mate, the mug is you.
I was the mug.
Yeah.
The trouble is, they had a Rancho Argos and it was just a plain white color. It wasn't like a pearlescent white, but it was close enough. And I was sucking in, and I
did you buy them?
When he brought the bill out, I was too embarrassed to not buy them.
Oh no! Well, I bought for my nephew, who's 3, I think. I keep track of these things. I bought him the official Lamborghini Squadra Corsa team jacket. I can't tell my sister how much that jacket was, because she'd never let him wear it. It was I probably wouldn't have spent that much money on a jacket for me, but he is adorable. He looks so cute in it. And eventually he'll be too big to wear it, and we'll just have to frame it somewhere, because it is a genuinely really nice piece of quality. But you're like, come on, lads, there's half the material in that there is in the other ones. It should be less money. Come on, no. Lamborghini merch is eye-watering.
Lamborghini, everything's eye-watering.
Yeah, it's true. If you want to buy somebody some gifts to show that you don't like them, pick anything you like from Ferrari's fashion line. Honestly, they will look basically like Ali G.
Excellent.
Some of the stuff, they've changed it. The last couple of years has not been so bad, but there was one year where the entire Ferrari fashion, and I point out, by the way, this is an entirely separate thing to the Ferrari genuine merchandise and whatnot, and the Ferrari team apparel and all that sort of stuff. But Ferrari fashion is its own entity. I think they're opening a store in London. I'm sure I walked past it the other day. And you look at it and you just go, are you sure? Is that I can't see anybody wearing any of this stuff. It's just hilariously bad.
All right. One more positive thing, and I think we should probably cover some more things you should not buy.
Yep.
A car enthusiast. One of the things I just want to give an honourable mention to is Lego Technics sets, because there's some pretty bad ones, but there's some really, really good ones.
Yep.
But if you can't find the one that you're looking for, I'm trying to remember. Oh, I had it right here a second ago. Damani told me the name of it. There's like a special. We'll put it in the description. There is a version of the Lego Technics, which is basically people make the kits themselves by finding all of the different Lego parts to then make that particular car. So it's an unofficial car, but
with
it
the
is
official bits.
but with all the official Lego bits. And some of them are actually quite impressive.
It's like a homebrew, basically.
Yeah.
I quite like the idea of that.
Fill the space, and I'm going to look it up now because I.
Do you ever have Meccano as a kid?
I did have Meccano
No.
as a kid. What?
Oh,
Sorry, sore point because that sounds a lot like my surname, and I was always called Meccano as a kid. And then people just called me Lego bricks after a while. Years of therapy to get over that.
moving swiftly on. Duplo? Do you have Duplo? I like Duplo. Duplo is good, although my mum never bought me another bag of it.
I don't really think I had that. It was just mainly Lego as a kid. And,
Yeah, no, Lego's pretty good. I always wanted the Super Star Destroyer, but even as an adult, like, you know, I've got 3 Ferraris, but I know my limit. I can't afford the Super Star Destroyer.
Yeah, I just, in fact, you got me an Airfix kit for the first time as well,
Yeah.
actually. A Land Rover Airfix. I haven't had a chance to do anything with it yet because...
I didn't realise they were still a thing. I bought that from the motorist.
Oh, yeah. So I'm...
And actually, you can still get... I always think them of the FX kits, but I don't think they are. You know, did you have as a kid those little, like, you know, polystyrene Spitfire? And it's basically like, it's more or less 2 pieces. You get the sort of, you know, the main body and the wing.
And like you glue it together and like throw it
you
down
sling
the
it.
thing. Yeah.
Or, honestly, like, they still exist. You can still buy them, and they are available at reasonable prices. A model rocket. That I think there is something very, very cool about a model rocket. And I need to look into it because I haven't looked into it for years. But when I was a kid, so we're talking like the 90s, basically, 1990s, you could get ones with little cameras in them. And you put like a little roll of film in them. We even had one where you could put a toy in it with a parachute. And the idea was that when it got to a certain height, basically the thing when he'd sort of, sail back down to Earth. That's not how it actually wound up working. What happened is he suffered a horrible and fiery death trapped inside a burning rocket. But that is true to life, I suppose. And yeah, they were great. I mean, all you need really is some space. I would not recommend this for sort of, inner city dwellers. It's a bit antisocial to fire a rocket at someone.
Yes.
But if you do live in the countryside or you can get to some, find a field somewhere, be responsible, don't burn the thing to the ground. But, model rockets are great.
Yeah, I've never had one of those because I probably would have burnt something to the ground.
Well, maybe we should keep
I was not allowed fire as a child for obvious reasons because it would have gone horribly wrong.
Even as an adult, I think under supervision is best.
I once, actually, no, this is a true story. Me and my sister once set fire to the wall in our living room, and so my parents didn't believe us. So what happened was there were some cards on the wall. This was around Christmas time. We had some candles. We moved the candles. We wanted to just on the mantelpiece for some reason, and it set fire to the cards. And we came upstairs and we were like, "Mum, the wall's on fire." And she was like, "No, it's not." And we were like, "No, the wall is on fire." She said, "Go away, stop being an idiot." And then only when I came in screaming, "Mum, the wall's on fire," and the smoke alarm stopped going off, and then the expletives came out and the panicking happened, and then we ended up throwing a bucket of water.
I tried to warn you.
I know, and that is why I'm not allowed fire.
Right, they're called mock Lego kits, MOC Lego kits, and there's some websites like rebrickable.com where you can just buy the instructions, and then you have to source the different parts that you need to build the kit yourself, and the instructions are like a tenner or 12 quid or whatever. Or you can get full kits that come with all the Lego parts that have been put together for you to then build these mock kits. And there's an example of the Pagani Zonda.
Yeah, Pagani Zonda are 4,500 pieces.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pieces. And 190 quid is actually really
Amazing.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, and these are all kits that are put together by communities, and where they figure out what all the different specific Lego parts that you need in order to build this particular kit. They create instructions that you can get in PDF, so you can get a much wider range of options for Lego Technic kits rather than just the ones that are on the shelves. And again, as you can see, they can be quite reasonably priced because they're not fully licensed models. They're just individuals who've
Which is what
shared with the
Lego's
community.
meant to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the idea. Is you build whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Good mention. Any more you want to do, Will, before we go on to the undesirables?
Another suggestion I had was a car cleaning kit of some sort. Now, James, do we not have a car cleaning kit sponsor on board?
We do. Dodo Juice, who sponsor the JayEmm on Cars channel and have done for some time now, have also given us a Radiator Arms discount code, which is Radiator 10, I believe, for 10% off. Well, we'll put that link in the description down below as well. And that just go on the Dodo Juice website, and they'll have offers themselves as well, of course, at this time of year. And they've got everything from, cloths to full cleaning kits, big bags. You can spend as much or as little as you like. But, even 20, 30 quid gets you all the sort of essentials you need to do a half decent job outside and in with a car. There's so much that you can get. Although I have to say, one of the best things I've bought myself, it's a bit more money, from a company called Race Glaze, is an inline water filter. Ooh. And so it means for those that do clean their own cars at home, what it does is it removes all the impurities from your water. So when you're finished, you don't need to worry so much about drying the car off, because when it dries, it'll be clean. And I've got to say, my cars have never looked as clean as they do when you clean it with the filtered water. It's incredible.
I can't get the Merc to be spotless without, unless Ben the Sparkle is doing it with that kind of thing, that filter, because I've always got like streaky bits and white spots and anything. So that filter does its job.
It really works. Yeah. So, presents not to buy. And this is going to be a bit controversial. I would probably say I would also not recommend the vast majority of driving experience days. Because almost universally I've heard negative things about them. And we're talking, by the way, here about the drive a Ferrari for £99 type thing. Often it's quite a bit more than that. And the reason we say that is because the cars, by and large, are not particularly well maintained. You may not actually wind up being able to drive the car that you wanted to drive. And for a lot of people, there's only one car that they're actually interested in anyway. You are highly unlikely to be able to drive the car at anything approaching what it's capable of. In fact, for the most part, you'll probably drive the thing at 2,000-3,000 RPM, changing up and taking it very easy. I do understand the other side of it, because no matter how stupid you think somebody could be, they have encountered stupider, and the videos you see of these things happening are incredible. But by and large, it's quite a lot of money for what tends to be quite a disappointing experience.
I think there are one or two possible exceptions. I did one of those driver Ferrari type experiences. I don't think it was £99. I think it was more like £150.
Yeah,
it was at Silverstone, and it was a gift from someone that thought it would be a good idea. And luckily, it was. They'd actually done their research, looked at all the different reviews, and found this one particularly because they actually did let you drive the car properly.
Yeah.
And on the day, unfortunately for me, it was wet. So when we went out on the track, he was just saying, look, I think it was a 430.
They've still got them.
Yeah. And it was a bit damp that day. And we went out on the track, and I just said, look, I'm just going to go as fast as you tell me to go, because, you know the conditions, you know the car, and you don't know me. So, and we went out, and the car started like squirming around. He's like, yep, you've got it. Carry on. And it was actually letting me like properly let the car rotate in the wet and squirm its way around. We actually got up to a pretty good pace. So I was really impressed. However, there are the other ones, which are like 55 or 60 quid or £99. Those ones I would avoid like the plague.
Yeah.
Avoid like the plague. They're usually on some airfield somewhere. You don't really, you're generally advised, right, get from first, right, now the short shift to second, now short shift to third, now stay in third, don't come out of third. And then you're just kind of driving at this really slow pace around a cone course somewhere. So I would agree with that. But some of them are actually half decent, but do expect to pay slightly more for them.
We'll try and do some research over the next year and find out which ones are good. What I would say is that in contrast to that, if you want a more high octane experience, I tend to find the passenger experiences tend to be a lot better, because they're obviously not worried about, what you're going to do in the car. They just strap you in and take you out. And generally speaking, passenger ride experiences are much better because you're with an experienced driver driving a car they know and a circuit they know, and generally speaking, in whatever environment you find it, it's fun.
Oh, do you know what? A really cool passenger experience I saw that was up the other day was, again, with Unlimited Motorsport, not sponsored, with Nicholas Hamilton.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think the tickets were not. They weren't cheap. They weren't cheap. But the fact that you get to go in a touring car, I think it was like the previous season's touring car or something, with Nick Hamilton, and in the process, you're ultimately helping to support his racing.
That's very cool.
Because Nick Hamilton does self-fund all of his own racing. He is not handed money on a plate from his brother. If you didn't know, that was Lewis Hamilton's brother. He does everything himself. Really, really inspirational individual, especially given his disabilities.
No, that's very, very cool. Yeah, no, highly recommend that sort of stuff. I was also at Thruxton recently and saw Tiff Niddell doing passenger rides.
Oh, wow.
Very sideways BMW M2.
Yeah,
that's what he does best, sideways.
Yeah. Will, Nightmare Presents?
Maybe this is going to be a bit of a hot take, and just a bit of a take on these things in general. I would never want to receive any form of 4D or gel number plate or a private or a private plate, which to make sense has to be illegally spaced.
Okay, I'm sorry I have to bring this up now. There's a new horror appearing on cars.
I think I know what this is.
Yeah,
Bubble plates.
What?
What?
Bubble plates.
The heck is one
I
of
thought
those?
you were about
Exactly.
those plates which are like cut down and like a really
I thought you
weird
was going to
size.
talk about like an
Yes.
illuminated one.
That's it. That's what they are.
Oh, crikey, where they've basically just shaved around the edge of the number. Oh, put it away.
Yep.
Oh, my.
All right. And apparently they're legal because
Yeah,
Oh,
they
those.
still meet the rules.
they meet all of the spacing font and spacing requirements.
Yeah, and it only says you have to have X amount of plate around the letters. It doesn't say that you have to have cut them in a neat, tidy way that makes you look like a normal member of society and not some unhinged Instagram individual.
Yeah.
Do you know what? The owners of the companies that sell them can go into the industrial mincer testicle first.
Yes, the titanium tooth tool of civil obedience will be unpacked especially for them and set on slow.
Oh, yes,
So
exactly.
we'll cut around them. We'll cut around the edges.
It'll be set slow, but on the highest torque setting to make sure the job gets done.
Yeah, and I hear that. Is it going?
Yeah, they are a horror
Jesus
show.
Christ.
Bubble plates. Yeah. The perfect gift for somebody that you just don't like. Although, can I say, 2026, I'm bringing back furry dice.
Yeah, I had some furry dice in my Maestro. I don't know if it was in for the review that you did it, but I had
I
it in
probably
at
took
one
those
point.
out.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. But I had red furry dice in my first Maestro.
Yeah, they're cool. And I do still want a set of beads for the seats in the Rover. I want a track car with beads.
They have to be fire retardant beads, surely.
Mate, I think those things will outlast all of us. I don't know what they're made from. I think if they're anything like the ones from my grandmother's friends I experienced in the 90s, I think they're made out of some sort of NASA-developed high-temperature ceramic. I think they might be recycled from the tiles on the space shuttle. Like, they're
Probably with
impervious
some asbestos
to anything.
as well.
Yeah, probably a bit of asbestos, bit of lead in there as well. Some mercury core, but nice lightweight.
A bit of the demon core in there as well.
But, one last thing that you think people absolutely shouldn't buy, because I think we should be wrapping up imminently.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, car air sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, car air sense. They're one of them.
It's a very personal thing. There are some nice ones out there. And yeah, but there are also some horrible ones. And the ones that clip to the, I never trust the ones that clip to the air vent.
No.
That's why I'm always worried they're going to fall out.
I was going to say the eBay LED HID headlight kits for cars which don't have any form of projector housing or anything like that and dazzle you. I'm still seeing an amazing amount of those on the road in older cars these days.
Yeah.
That is just not a thing.
And yeah, I think that's a good summary, lads. I think probably an appropriate time to end. And with this being the festive episode, the most important thing, of course, is that, if you've got somebody out there, you're thinking of buying something, whether you can or cannot afford it, just send them a text, an email, give them a call, just check in, because it might be a bit of a cliche, but it is true. At this time of year, sometimes the best gift you can give to anybody is a little bit of your time. So We thank you for giving us some of yours. And don't forget to tune in next week here at the Radiator Arms. We're, of course, on YouTube first at 7 o'clock on a Monday morning, followed a week later on all of your favorite audio first sources, including Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple, and 833 megahertz if you're in the Lowestoft area. Thank you.
Happy
Bye-bye.
holidays.
Bye-bye.